All right, so here we are, video number 3 this week from my car. I might be setting a record. I don't know. I have to go back and look. It is Friday night, and I'm just running an errand right now, and the skies are darkening. Not because it's approaching nightfall, but because storm's probably moving in. A lot of rainy weather. But I'm looking forward to this weekend a lot because of the pay-per-view fights that are on tomorrow night. That's something that excites me. What do you have going on? What gets you excited about the weekend? I tell you what, when I first got in the car, I backed out of the driveway. As I started moving down the road just a little bit, I'm wearing sandals at the moment. I wasn't trying too hard to get dressed up and going out, and the car just moved a little bit, and I realized a fire ant got between two of my toes and caused me immediate pain. You know it right away when you get bit by a fire ant. Oh man. Anyway, going back to what gets you all excited about the weekend. Better yet, this is a twofold question for you. What does your personal hell look like? You know, I personally believe that heaven and hell is a real place. There are some people that believe that heaven and hell are here on earth. I do not. I do not think that's what God says at all. But that's neither here nor there for this conversation. Metaphorically, what does your own personal hell look like? I mean, what makes everything that could possibly go right just go completely south? You know, and ruin everything for you. There are some things that do it for me. I have lived in some places before where I wanted to enjoy a nice weekend, and then the neighbors might have they might start up a really loud party that you can't just ignore because it's not meant to be ignored. And they'll go to the wee hours of the morning, and no matter what you say or do, or even if you call the cops, it doesn't matter. They're not going to stop anyway. But that is one kind of personal hell for me. I don't like that. Being in a good mood, but having the relationship atmosphere destroyed by an argument, by some chance word that was said that was misplaced and that is misunderstood. That will do it. Getting a bad report, something happening with your health that hits you out of the blue. It happens to people all the time. Just getting any kind of bad news and feeling like you're out, like you have no control. And that's really what I think is the impetus behind the feeling that people have of a personal hell, is that they're in the throes of something they cannot control, that they don't have a say-so in, that they can't make a difference about. That will do it. On the other hand, what does your own personal heaven look like? Well, I guess it depends on what makes you happy, right? I can be happy and content, really. I mean, happiness for me, I think, lies within contentment. And if you can be content in whatsoever state that you are in, I think you can be happy. And it's easy for me to be happy, actually. And therefore, I could find a place of comfort, of solace, of relative peace, just about any time, anywhere, unless someone just wants to make that impossible. But my idea of a personal heaven, wow. I guess it would be not feeling tired and enjoying good food and good company. And knowing that what I am enjoying is not going to come to a close very quickly. If I'm speaking in very gray terms, it's really only because I don't know how else to speak of it, because it's, there is no black and white when it comes to this. I just think that a personal heaven for me is having good relationships, peace between those people that I love and myself, and all the provisions I need to take care of my family and myself. And that's, having enough to be able to share with others. That's also another personal heaven. I think that counts for a lot. It goes a long ways to making someone happy. At least it does for me. What is your idea of a personal heaven? I guess the whole point of this is, what can we do to mitigate our personal hell? If the hell that you're going through happens too often and too long, you might need to stop and take a look and find out if you're doing anything to encourage that. If there's anything you can change, if there's a different way to think, if there's a different plan of action you can take. And I would say, don't let those moments destroy future moments of personal happiness, and find out what you can do to promote, that kind of peace and contentment that you describe as your personal heaven. I think that having a good attitude, being thankful, grateful heart is really at the root of happiness overall. That's where you find peace and contentment and happiness. If you can do that, you can find heaven anywhere. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I do believe heaven is a real place, separate and entirely different from the existence that we live in right now. I believe that. But metaphorically speaking, it's important to be able to find some semblance of peace and contentment and happiness in this life. And I think a lot of it begins with a grateful heart and a giving heart, and being able to count your blessings. Many of you know this, but in churches growing up, you might have sang a song called "Count Your Blessings." I think that's what it's called. Count your blessings, name them one by one, and see what God has done. And I think that's a good way to do that. But don't let the moments of personal hell that you're going through destroy everything for you, and don't let it make you so irrational. You say and do things that you'll regret and have long-term consequences. That's the whole gist of today's conversation, I guess. Trust me, this was not thought out. I read this question right before I walked out the door, and I'm just simply elaborating on it, and really not knowing half the time if I'm ever going to upload this video or not. But if you're watching this, obviously I did. But it's just a simple way of conversing with you guys and taking a little bit of time to think. It's good to have people in our lives who challenge us, that challenge us to think. And if you don't have anybody, a good way to do that is to spend time reading. Read your Bible. Pick up another good book. But and you'd be surprised at who speaks back to you. All right, guys, I got to get going. I got to run in here and do something. Hey, if you like my shirt, my Boss Man brand shirt, I love this shirt. If you like this, look at the description below, and I will give you a link there, and I think you can get like 15% off among the many other things they have. But check them out. All right, guys, I appreciate your time. I hope you have a good weekend, and I hope it's as enjoyable as I plan on mine being. All right, Catch you later. Bye-bye.